Hey guys, this is Pete from Crunch Time Coaching, and I want to welcome you to my webinar. And today I'm very excited to share with you my secret weapon on how I build lists of prospects and clients, how I'm able to create relationships on autopilot without making any phone calls, and I'm going to also show you how I'm able to make money whether I'm on the court teaching, in my car, or even in my sleep. In fact, we're even going to look at an example where I made $1,000 on a rainy day. Now, the cool thing I want you to get excited about right now is that whether you know it or not, you've already proven that this system works to yourself. You may be wondering, how is that? Well, because my exact system that I use to generate income for my tennis teaching on the court is the exact system that brought you to this page. They're called lead pages, and believe me, they're the most powerful tool on the internet today. First, let me share with you the exact definition of what a lead page is so you can fully understand. Okay, so here we are in Wikipedia for the definition of a lead capture page. Now, the definition is kind of long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there is one line that I really like here. It says, the general goal of a landing page is to convert site visitors into sales leads. And this is huge, and this is the biggest difference I see out there between coaches with traditional websites versus other industries that are now using these lead pages. Rather than the first impression being a website, the first impression is usually a lead page, and we're going to get into that a little later. So now we got what a lead page is. You generally kind of know what one is. You've experienced it. I've given you a definition. Let me discuss what we're going to go over today. Number one, we're going to discuss why lead pages are way more effective than a traditional website, and why you need to use them as your first point of contact. It's got to be the first thing that you basically show a new prospect or client, and we're going to go into detail why. That brings us to number two, what we're going to be going over today. I'm going to show you, we're going to go on the web together, and I'm going to show you real live examples of lead pages that internet marketers are using in other industries literally make millions of dollars a year, and that is not an exaggeration. Number three, I'm going to show you some lead pages that I've made myself to consistently fill up a class of 40 students. I'm going to show you another technique that I used to make $1,000 when it was completely raining outside and I didn't think I was going to make any money the whole week. And number four, I'm going to discuss with you the number one power tool behind the lead page that is going to be really eye-opening. It shows you how you can track and measure everything, create relationships on autopilot, and turn your business into a money-making machine, all by clicks of the button and no phone calls. So you're really going to enjoy that. So let's get right into our first topic right now. So let's discuss why a lead page is so much more effective than a traditional website. You know, I compare traditional websites that you'd see out there as like going to a mall. If you were to go to a mall, you know, you've got tons of stores, and that's kind of like a website. Websites are important, but you can go on a website and you can kind of browse around and see some photos and some classes and videos maybe, and kind of like going to a mall. You're just kind of going around, you're browsing, shopping, and many times, in fact most times, you're kind of going to a mall or to a website almost to kill time, where a lead page is more like going into a specific store. You know, so now it's just much more targeted. And even more than that, now you're going not only into the store, you're going directly to a rack. And then on top of that, it's even deeper than that, because you're not only just going to the rack, you're actually going for one particular item that maybe has a 50% off sale. And that's the only reason you came to the mall that day, was to look for that one specific item and make a decision. Are you going to go for that 50% offer, or are you not? You're either going to buy or you're not. And that is the essence. That short little story I told you is the essence between a traditional website and lead pages. And now that you kind of have that in your head, I'm going to go in and show you examples of how now professional internet marketers that literally build businesses that make them millions of dollars online are using these lead pages. And then we're going to compare them to a lot of tennis websites that you see out there, and I think you're going to really see the difference. Okay, so we're on the internet here, and now we're going to take a look at some tennis clubs and their websites. And as you can see, this first website, it's not a bad looking site, but what we're talking about is the ability to capture leads, to make sales on autopilots, to build relationships. And you really can't do that here. You're coming here and you're just kind of surfing around, and to be honest, it doesn't really probably not going to have too many people stay too long on this site. Alright, so now let's compare it to some professional internet marketers. These people literally sometimes have, it's going to sound far-fetched, but they have $1 million months sometimes when they launch a product. And one of the most famous internet marketers is Frank Kern. And you can see that he's got a website here, frankkern.com. So when you'd go to that, you'd figure you'd learn all about Frank. Well, if you click this, it's not even a very impressive looking site, which is, I find, very interesting. But what's the first thing you read? How you can design, create, and implement the ultimate lifestyle business in 6 weeks or less. Well, if you're looking to grow a business, you're kind of intrigued. So then you're invited to a free training August 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So now you're figuring out, all right, do I want to do this? Here's what you need to do next. You fill out the form. That's the key. Not even a very glamorous site, but this guy literally makes millions of dollars online. You can see right here, he's got 107 comments based on this little sales letter that's nothing to write home about. But the key is it's an offer. It's a very specific thing he wants you to do. He wants you to fill out the form for his free training. So as we look at that, we can hopefully light bulbs are starting to go off in your head. That's the first thing he wants you to look at when you look at frankkern.com, which is his name. Another one right here, this is a site called Mobile Monopoly, and it's run by a guy named Adam Horowitz. He makes a lot of money online through basically training you how you can make money with mobile. And he's even been invited to the White House as he's like 21 years old. So you can see right here, you watch a video. So again, it's pretty straightforward, though the video is quite good. And then you download it right now. So again, he's asking you to take an action right away. So the more I kept studying these professional internet marketers that I knew were highly successful, I started to think, you know what, this could probably work for tennis. And so I started to run all my programs by basically setting up lead pages and then figuring out ways to drive traffic to it. And it worked so great. You can see right here I have a lead page that talks about Gold's Gym Tennis presents Tennis 1, 2, 3. Learn tennis in 8 weeks for just $7.50 a week. And then when you click play right here, you can also watch a video. And the cool thing about it is it makes your client or your potential client make a decision right away. It's not about coming to a website where they see all your programs. They're deciding on this one specific thing. And this program right here, every time I send this offer out to now my list, in the beginning I had to grow my list, but now all I have to do is send an offer like this out, and I always get 40 people in this class every time. So it is just a fantastic way to keep getting income, growing your list, making money on autopilot. I'm going to go into more of that later, but I just want to show you a couple more examples. Here's another site. Now this doesn't even have a video on it. It's just about getting a 6-pack of lessons. I was going to be putting my lesson prices up, so I actually decided to do it when the weather was no good. We had a bad week of weather, so I said 6-pack of lessons for just $220. That's $36 per class, $9 below the current price, and that's because I was going to then be putting our lesson prices up, and so they had to then opt in. And we'll actually do that together right now, just so I can kind of show you how this works. And you can see how effective it is. This is actually my rainy day tutorial. What I did was basically had this offer, and then on the other side I had an upsell technique. So they could either do $220 one-time thing, then know the next time they get in, the prices are gonna go up, or they could pay for 6 months. And you can see that this particular page isn't very high tech, but it was very effective. It doesn't always have to be high tech. You see, yes, I want this special for 6 months, and so I had some people take me up on that. We made $1,000 that day selling that package, and it was completely rainy. So I also think, it is important to have professional looking sites and professional looking videos the first time someone comes to your site. So we're kind of stepping up our bar, if you will, with our lead pages now, so that it's got a great video that really captures the imagination, and it's a little more pleasing to the eye. So these are actually some videos and products that I've made for some clients. This is a hit and run class, and you can see it's got a cool video. You're going to get 10% off your first lesson, your first private lesson as well. So you can see that these are all very specific offers that we're driving our clients to make decisions. And it's just a great way to bring the attention of your client in to where they're not shopping around, they're not on the website in a mall, they're looking at a specific offer on a rack and making the decision. That's the key. That's the trick to being able to grow your business a lot faster than it would if you just had some static website that's got a bunch of your classes that people browse and they really don't know how to sign up, they're kind of confused, and then they leave. So if you're really looking to grow your business, this is the way you need to do it. The next thing we're going to go into is we're going to discuss the #1 power tool behind the lead pages that's really going to help you be able to run everything on autopilot.